What's up, guys, and welcome to another edition of the Idea Log. Today's idea is, how does caffeine work? It's an interesting story, and since people drink coffee and green tea all the time, I thought it'd be a good thing to share. So long story short, there is no inherent energy inside the coffee or inside the Red Bull or the green tea. That doesn't actually give you energy. But what it does do is it tricks your body into releasing adrenaline, which gives you energy. And the way that it does this is basically inside your brain you have around 86 billion neurons, right? And these neurons, you've seen them, they look like spiders, so to speak, and they make tons of connections, but they don't actually quite connect. And the way that they talk to each other is a thing called neurotransmitters. So neuron A will send a neurotransmitter to neuron B, like dopamine or serotonin or oxytocin or adenosine, which is what we're going to talk about. So it'll send a neurotransmitter to neuron B, and that's how they communicate. So adenosine is the neurotransmitter that is affected when you drink any kind of caffeinated beverage. Basically, as you go through your day, your brain, as it's firing its neurons and you're thinking and you're going through your day and you're shaving or doing whatever you're doing, you start accumulating adenosine, the neurotransmitter adenosine, in your brain. And basically what adenosine does is it fits into the adenosine receptor site on neuron B, and it tells, it's just basically keeping tabs of how much brain activity is going on. And the whole function of adenosine is to make you tired. So, we can't be awake all the time. So the body's natural way to regulate that is this thing called adenosine. So the thing about caffeine, though, is the chemical structure of caffeine is so similar to adenosine that it fits into the adenosine receptor site on neuron B. So what happens is you drink a cup of coffee, all the caffeine gets into your neurons, it fits into the receptor sites that adenosine normally would, it blocks them, so now the neurons can't uptake the adenosine. So they don't know, so they're not regulated in their tiredness anymore. So all of a sudden you don't feel as tired, and what happens is caffeine actually excites the neurons, so they start firing more. And what happens here is this kind of tricks your brain or tricks your body, so to speak, because your body sees all this excess neuron firing, and it's like, what the hell's going on? So it starts up its fight or flight response, which is to release epinephrine, aka adrenaline, and then that's where you get the high from when it comes to caffeine. That's where your heart starts beating, you start feeling happy, you like all the great things we love about caffeine, the energy, all comes from adrenaline and dopamine, which is also released, which is a happy chemical. But yeah, so last thing I'm gonna say about caffeine, though, is, okay, so the average espresso shot from Starbucks has 75 milligrams of caffeine, okay? So any Starbucks drink, any drink that they have that's like a venti or their medium size, it's gonna have 2 shots of espresso, okay? So it's 150 milligrams of caffeine. If you drink that, you can do that, of course, but the idea here is not, the great idea we're sharing is not to drink this 12 hours before you go to sleep. I'm not saying that you can't fall asleep on caffeine. What I am saying is it will still be in effect for 12 hours after you consume it. You may not feel it. You may not feel it after 30 minutes after drinking that drink. But just because you don't feel it doesn't mean it's affecting your brain. And the problem is it really affects the way that your sleep patterns go. You cannot get into the really deep sleep. Your brain needs to have that adenosine flowing in order to open up the blood vessels in your neurons and allow more oxygen in there, and that's how you get the deep sleep, and that's how you get the benefits of deep sleep, and we're going to talk about deep sleep soon. But anyway, that's it. Yeah, I obviously like caffeine, but ever since I learned that, I stopped drinking it after 3 p.m. So anyway, that's today's idea. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing to videos. I appreciate it. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.